Welcome, good day to DKM episode 7. Currently, our main host, Daniel, is off. He caught a case of Ligma, so he can't make it. So the show is just going to be a couple, just a couple of homies, childhood homies. I'm here with Kenny. How you doing, Kenny?
Uh, I'm 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 missing Danny, man.
It's okay, man. Ligma hits all of us, dude. Which is why we're raising
Oh man.
a nice little charity for Ligma awareness. Ninja got it pretty bad, so he banned it on his stream. You remember that?
No, dude, I never
So
saw
he
that.
he he was just streaming on Twitch, and he's people the Ligma joke came out, and he asked, "Guys, what's Ligma?" And everyone in chat was like, "Ligma balls." And they got after a while, he's like, all right, I get it. And then, well, he got so peeved at it that he banned it. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure he banned the word outright from his stream.
Oh wow.
But I think it was on Twitter as well. I can't remember. I forgot where he asked it. I'm pretty sure it was on
Well,
Twitter.
that's where you just go ahead and space out the word.
Right, space out the word, right?
Pretty
Like how.
much, or put periods in between each word.
So what? You're gonna space out the ligma with your tongue as it was intended?
Oh man. Yeah, exactly. But speaking about streams, so I did a stream recently and turns out my audio was off, so there went a whole whopping 2 hours of my life for no reason.
You couldn't. You didn't have any backups.
No audio backups that are picking up like in-game audio or desktop
Mm.
audio. It was through OBS Studio, and I had hit the off
Oh,
feature on the desktop recording, so that was
when'd you
screwed.
notice?
And thankfully, well, at the end of my stream, once I had went to clip something, all I heard was my audio coming from me.
Uh,
Yeah, because I had like some good clips in there. I was playing prop hunt on Black Ops,
I haven't
and
played it yet.
it's so
Is
good,
it just
dude.
Nuketown?
Like, no, it's every map. Yeah, and they have different props for every map, so it's like, it's fun. You need to give it a
Well,
shot.
obviously, I think I'll only do good on maps that I know well enough, like maybe Nuketown, and they
Hmm.
brought back that mansion for Black Ops 2.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. I think it was Raid. Raid.
right.
Yeah. So you got Nuketown and Raid now that are old maps and a
I've
new
been
game.
playing zombies nonstop just to unlock camos because it seems that camos in multiplayer are a lot easier to get compared to its zombies, uh,
Well,
which is just fun overall because in Modern Warfare the challenges for camos were just crazy. You actually had to grind for it,
hmm
but in Black and Cold War, the regular multiplayer camos to get diamond were they're basically a joke. It's super easy. I'm not sure if you noticed.
well, it's like five camos
Yeah, it's something like that.
per like thing. It's whatever.
But the
I mean,
challenges though super
whatever,
easy.
man.
So,
Yeah.
but I'll give it a try. Since double EXP's out, I've been taking advantage of that, leveling up my guns and stuff. But I'm still relatively low level. But back to
Yeah.
stream.
I
Uh, what were you streaming?
so streaming Black Ops, and then I was gonna do like a little sneak peek of Cyberpunk on PC, because I know a lot of people that come to watch my streams are probably on
Mm-hmm.
console. I mean, making an assumption there. A lot of them are friends. Um and the thing is like, the way the game is on console, it's pretty bad, honestly. It's not in the best shape, especially for like the base PS4 and
Oh yeah,
Xbox
especially the
and
PS4, dude.
Xbox this Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Um Surprisingly though, the best version of the game that you can play right now on console is on the Series S.
Mm-hmm.
which same goes, I think, for there's a few games that run better on the Series S than they do on the
Hmm.
X, and that's just due to the 4K nature of the X.
I mean, the Xbox S is an upgrade to the base one,
Oh yeah, oh
which
yeah.
honestly I've worked with a couple of, well, just basically two Xboxes because they had heating issues. So I learned to take it apart,
Mm-hmm.
uh, clean it, reapply the paste, the the thermal paste, and then boom, make it work again. Also because the second one someone dropped soda on it. It took me a while to fix it, but
Oh man, yeah, because you have to clean the
hmm
PCB. The best way to get that clean was probably run it under water. For being
I
honest,
what I did was
if you just ran it under a sink and like brushed it with like a
right.
toothbrush or something, you would have most likely gotten the
What I
soda
did
off.
was I had a at the time I worked at a as a bench tech, so I had cleaning solvent specifically meant to not
Mm-hmm.
damage uh, boards, circuit boards that also didn't cause any corrosion as well. So
Right.
the materials were there. I had everything. It was a rather quick fix. It was just I did a
Yeah.
couple of what do you call it, coats. I cleaned it, let it dry
Yeah.
out.
What'd you clean it with? Isopropyl
Yo, yes,
alcohol?
that too. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. I've even opened up my Xbox Series S, and it's an overall improvement, especially spec wise. It's slight. I believe it's a better improvement.
Oh, you have a Series
Yeah, I have a
S?
Series S. Only because I wanted an Xbox One, and that's the one that was out, and I was like, oh, let me just get an Xbox.
Wait, the One S or the Series
No,
S?
my bad, not the Series S. I am so sorry. The One S. I'm so sorry.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
no, the
So
the the One S, and the GameStop employee that I got it from,
yeah.
he's like, "Can you want to get it used?" And I'm like, "Dude, I can't because I already dealt with other Xbox One, and the One S's used. I don't trust. You worked at GameStop, so you know the
So
deal. You know the sitch.
oh my god, yes, I
Getting
did.
selling pre-owned stuff is what.
Yeah, they that's their main push is selling pre-owned stuff. You have like a quota you have to meet, a daily, a weekly, and a monthly
I
quota.
mean, that's anywhere really, but
Um,
it sounds super egregious with GameStop if you're into the whole gaming world.
so I was at the mall the other day, and I think ThinkGeek is closing down. Yeah,
Didn't GameStop
yep.
buy ThinkGeek?
ThinkGeek.com. It's right here. ThinkGeek. Yeah, they did. ThinkGeek.com is shutting down, and that's a damn shame. That's the title. It's from The Verge. Uh, 20 years of servicing nerds. Wow.
Wow, right? They're calling them nerds. So disrespectful. I'm glad they're closed.
This is no, this is from The Verge,
Yeah.
man. Here's a tweet from ThinkGeek on the article that I'm reading. We're here at ThinkGeek. We here at ThinkGeek have had more fun than a barrel of monkeys being the destination retailer for geeks. Today, we're announcing that we're moving back in our roommates' parents over at GameStop. Click the link for info about our big move.
So
So seems like they're just integrating into GameStop,
completely.
kind of like how they had with Cricket,
Oh, right, right.
but
Okay, okay, okay.
I think that's probably the only thing keeping GameStop afloat is their mobile service at this
And
point.
honestly, if you ever want to trade in an electronic device, a tablet, a phone, whatever, you just here you go, GameStop.
Yeah, take it to GameStop. It's
But
exactly
they
what it
won't
is.
take everything though. If you give them a
They won't take Cyberpunk, especially if it was open.
Jesus Christ, dude. I know Best Buy. I know Best Buy is now finally giving out refunds for that, even when it's been opened, which is honestly kind of shocking to say the least. I know CD Projekt Red released an apology letter
Oh
saying,
yeah,
"Hey, we're gonna give
yeah.
refunds," and then,
But did you know the stipulation to
well,
that?
the thing is,
They were telling people to go digitally on Sony's website to get their
right, and
refund.
this is where I think having a disclaimer out there. Do you remember when the CD Projekt Red or Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter says the game is no longer going to be delayed. It's going to come out on this date. And then this one dude
Yeah.
said, "Are you guys sure? I'm taking the day off." I asked for the day off. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm sure." They said we are sure it's coming out this day. Uh, the people who run the Twitter page aren't the people who are running the management for gaming and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So then news came out saying, "Hey, we're delaying the game." So obviously they made this false promise because they didn't know about the fact. So
Well, that's why you just don't make promises to your fan base
right,
like that,
so they're just told they
especially if
they
you
just put
don't
on their
know.
Twitter whatever they're told or whatever they're supposed to tell people. So I'm
Hmm.
assuming if this is just me, giving the benefit of the doubt, because this is obviously the public relations team working on their Twitter saying, yeah, you just go get the refund. Uh, I'm sure they CD Projekt Red's Twitter's page didn't get the whole memo. I'm assuming, and then people started complaining
Right.
about we can't get refunds because Sony's egregious refund policies.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is that Sony, like, so what happened was that Cyberpunk, like CD Projekt Red, they put out an email saying that you can reach out to them to get a refund if you can't get one through either the retailers or I guess Xbox or PlayStation. Well, PlayStation decided that they were going to delist the game
Which was
altogether instead of
crazy,
giving
dude.
people refunds. Well, now Xbox just has a timed exclusive. That's
Yeah,
all.
console exclusive. It's a Microsoft exclusive only. But I
Yeah,
found it
exactly.
weird though. Sony has had some very atrocious refund policies.
Terrible
Well,
games. Well, they've also had terrible games, but they never delisted those terrible games. Let's look
Fallout
at
76 and how bad it.
Fallout 76,
Well,
Anthem, No
I
Man's
will say though,
Sky.
Fallout 76 was pulled physically from shelves. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it wasn't pulled
No,
digitally.
no, no, no.
Like Cyberpunk, you could still buy it at the
Yeah, that's
store
true. Um,
for the PS4.
so what's funny about Sony Industries Entertainment is that even if you started downloading a game that you bought, you basically waive your rights or your privileges to get a refund. Uh,
Yeah.
and after much backlash, I'm sure PlayStation's like, all right, we're talking to, or Sony SIE is talking to CD Projekt Red, and
Yeah, Sony Interactive
right, and they're
Entertainment.
like, all right, we're gonna give refunds and we're gonna take it out of our store because. From a business perspective, I'm not gonna go through this, because this game was hyped. It was super hyped. Everyone was looking
Yeah, it
forward
was
for it.
super hype.
It you,
Yeah, but what's crazy is that the game was supposed to come out on the base gen consoles and last generation, like the mid gen
and
consoles. So like the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, and it on the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, it runs
right,
okay. Like it runs at
hmm
30, like a locked 30, but on the base PS4 and
you get like
Xbox,
10
that's where
frames,
the
dude,
the issue lies.
like mid
Yeah,
tens.
that's where the issue
Well,
lies. But then you go and you play it on PC, and the game like it chugs on a computer, man. Like it's hard to
there's a
run.
there's a meme
Game's
there's a
not
meme
easy.
that's been out for a while, and some dude, it's basically Spider-Man 2, I believe, or Spider-Man 1, the original,
Hmm.
the Sam Raimi trilogy, where um the dude goes, "Oh, what was it? Cyberpunk has been optimized really, really poorly." And then Mary Jane looks to Peter and says, "Peter, you have a 750 Ti."
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I've seen that
And then
one.
he's like, "Oh, like a surprised Pikachu face," and I'm like, "You didn't have to do him like that, dude."
Well, I saw one where it wasn't like a Pikachu. It was like him
Oh,
crying.
yeah, with Uncle Ben get shot. That's bad, dude. So
Oh man, no, but even on my 2080 Ti, like the game dips below 60 frames, even with just like ray trace shadows or something. Like it's nothing,
right, I mean,
like nothing
I'm sure.
special. And like my thing is, I'm running on an ultra wide monitor, so like if I was running probably on a normal 16 by 9 aspect ratio, I'd probably run better. But I'm running 21 by
Right,
9.
and I'm sure people who had a PS4 or a base Xbox One would have never thought that they were going to get, a lot of
Oh yeah.
high fidelity graphics, frame rates, and the such.
Oh, they shouldn't have expected that, but at least 30 frames,
Right,
man. Like that's the biggest issue is the
right.
unplayability of
Even
the
when you're
last
driving a
generation
car,
consoles.
it's undrivable.
But, on a high note for Cyberpunk right now, they did release the hotfix 1.05
Another one?
yesterday.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, this is the last one before January
Yeah, because they're taking
comes.
a break for the holidays.
But, the 8 megabyte save corrupt
Right.
files.
Explain that.
So, let's say, you have the dupe glitch. Some people figured out there's a duplication glitch. Well, if you collect enough items, your save file will max out at 8 megabytes, and then it's going to corrupt, and then you have to start from an older save
If
file.
you have an older save file.
So, yeah, exactly. And if your older save file is 2 hours prior to when you did that last save
Yeah.
file, then you're really screwed.
Right.
I mean, thankfully the game has checkpoints, so it automatically saves sometimes. But with the corrupted save file, when you go to load into your game, it'll either tell you that it's corrupt or it'll just load you into a black
Yeah,
screen.
I which is sort of weird, and also I think the official
I
CD Projekt Red
know.
response was
I
we know the issue, we're gonna work on it.
Yeah, just don't hoard any
Right,
items. That was the
right.
fix. It's kind of like the H1 case, like turn off your computer and don't use your computer. It's like, well, I still haven't even received my repair kit yet, so
Mhm.
how long were you expecting me to not use my
Right,
computer for?
the case that we talked about last week, right? Mhm.
Yeah. I think it was last week or the week before that, but still, like there's a screw that needs to be replaced, and the fix that they gave me was turn power down the computer, remove the GPU, remove the bottom screw on the riser card, and then replace your GPU or can keep your computer powered
I
down
love it how
until further notice. Like,
those solutions are hilarious because I'm not sure if you know anything about League of Legends, but there's this character named Nasus, and he has one
mm-hmm,
of the most broken ultimate abilities in the game where if you let him build for late game, he will one shot everything, tank everything, and you're supposed to stop him before he reaches that point. People started complaining about, Nasus's ult, and I believe League of Legends game development said, all right, want to know the fix? Uh,
what's that?
don't let Nasus use his ult or don't get hit by his ult.
Wow.
It's basically told people to
Oh yeah,
get
yeah.
good.
Just
Just get
avoid
good.
him. Like,
Just get good. That's basically what they said. So I
look
love
at
these responses. Obviously,
just build a lot of crit and a lot
nah,
of
dude, he gets beefy. He easily gets a pentakill, no problem. But this is a
wow.
video game. Obviously, if you let him get to that point, it's on your team's fault. But a computer case, a video game where you have no control over the amount of items.
The performance,
Right.
yeah, stuff like that. Like, well, you have control over the amount of
True.
items you carry.
But a lot of people
It's
love
just
hoarding items. I mean,
of course, that's the whole nature of an RPG in the first place.
and
Is, oh look, there's an arrow that weighs nothing. Let me hoard 70
right.
million of
I
those.
mean, that's kind of broken. But even in The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red's last big installment, where every time I got a weapon that had something to do with a specific quest, a side story, or the main quest, or someone just says, here is my blade. Even though it is
Right,
much weaker than what I'm carrying it, I put it in my stash. Your stash basically it's bottomless. You can put anything you want in there. And when you do an NG Plus run, everything in your stash carries over to your NG Plus run. So things you have up on the wall in your houses in previous games will not transfer. So I have a stash full of
right.
two sets of every weapon, because the weapons scale with what level you are. So even in a game like Witcher 3, I hoard a bunch of weapons and a bunch of stuff, and my save file is over 8 megabytes. And then CD Projekt Red coming
Right.
out with this whole nonsensical issue where it's, hey, just don't hoard stuff. Like you said, it's an RPG. You mean I'm not supposed to do what we're normally used to doing?
Yeah, exactly. But like my thing is I'll collect like every item I can see, and then I'll go through my stuff and I'll sell a good majority of my stuff, so I can get the good old eddies.
Right.
Um,
But CD
but
Projekt Red promised a lot of things, and I know we talked about this before we started recording um about what the game is going to bring out, and some people have brought this up.
mhm,
Um, a mutual friend of ours even brought it up on a Facebook post, and I double checked most of what he said was true. And
mhm,
I'll read off some of the things where CD Projekt Red has promised throughout the years, saying what this game will bring out. Daily routines for NPCs and AI, corrupt police forces and wanted systems, and powerful mercenaries hunting you down. Third person mode and third person cutscenes, wall running, having multiple apartments, Mantis Blade, Spider-Man gameplay, Spider-Man like gameplay, um, Metro train system gameplay, underground system. It goes on. It's a big list, but
yeah, yeah, but a lot of that stuff never made it to the final
right,
product.
which is why I
And
wouldn't be mad.
I mean, here's the thing though, like 8 years, but a very ambitious project. Like, imagine if they did add all that to the game.
Right.
Like, how much longer would it have taken
Okay.
them to
Okay.
make the game? Next thing you know, the next set of consoles or the next big GPU comes out, and then what? Like, it was supposed to release on the original Xbox One and PS4 with
I
all
get it.
that.
I get what you're saying.
Imagine those Jaguar CPUs trying to even like think about doing that stuff. Like it'll corrupt
I get
instantly.
it. I get it. But guess what? Kingdom Hearts 3 had about 8 years of
Mm-hmm.
development. That game was trash. Like
Well, there you
80% of the game was
go.
trash. Although it looked beautiful.
So what I'm hearing, yeah, well, yeah, like this game looks amazing. I mean, on PC it
Yeah,
runs
yeah,
great.
flex. Go ahead and flex.
so, from what it sounds like, is that developers only need 5 to a year,
Yeah.
5 years to 1 year to develop a game. If not, it's going to be
Well, I
booty.
mean, I
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
about that
hearing.
because the what was it 2K, FIFA, Madden,
Bug
those are
snacks.
all yearly releases and they're just copy pastes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean even Call of Duty to an extent. Now not so much, but
Before, yeah,
before,
but mm,
yeah, but still, the Assassin's Creed, like yeah, I get what you're
but I mean,
talking
Call of
about,
Duty
but
had
like
different development teams working on it. You had Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch.
yeah, exactly. Like it's a collaboration of
So they had
people putting
right,
together.
they had 3 years to develop one game because it's one development studio.
That's why I'm saying like 5 years to a year it takes for people to create a
Well, I
good
mean,
game.
you can look at Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4 as well as the God of War 4.
Hmm.
That took almost a decade to develop, and those two games are incredible on their own. Just phenomenal, especially God of War 4. How much it added to the story, how many more questions it brought
Right.
in. Um, 8 years, 8 years, the same amount of development time that Kingdom Hearts had, and Kingdom Hearts looked beautiful, amazing.
And
And
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk also had it too, but
But here's the thing, like they optimized it for
right,
PC, they optimized it for
right.
Stadia, they optimized it
Stadia of
for
all
the
things,
original
dude.
Xbox. Yeah, I know. The original Xbox, the original PS4, the Xbox One X, the Xbox uh Series X and S, the PS4 Pro, the PS5, like
It's a lot.
that's a lot. Like that's what Black Ops development issues were as well. Was
Right.
like creating this Call of Duty game for numerous amounts, and I think that's the reason why we didn't get a Warzone for like Black
No,
Ops again.
before Black Ops was even announced, I could double check me on that, but I'm sure that it says something along the lines that Warzone will probably be its own thing because of how successful it is as a BR. Uh, Modern Warfare was an incredible game, and then it brought this creative way of doing battle royales where you start off with a weapon where you can revive teammates, all that stuff. So, um, it came out with its own creative individual spin on Warzone. So Warzone got so big that barely anyone or people who normally play Warzone and nothing but only go into multiplayer to level up their guns. new guns, I should say. So like,
Right.
let's just say, oh, a new SMG comes out. Well, I'm gonna multiplayer to level it up till I get a specific attachment, and I'm gonna get back on Warzone because Warzone gives me a lot more EXP for my kills, a lot more this, and that. So, I get it. I get it that why maybe Cold War didn't want to do it because maybe Activision had something to do with it, but at the end of the day,
Probably because they saw like how popular Modern
money,
Warfare
dude,
was.
mad money.
Yeah, yeah, and like you get to keep all the stuff that you
Right,
bought.
which
So
is
I guess in a way, it's more consumer
yeah, not
friendly.
like what EA does, where like, hey, or 2K, where they're like, hey, we saw you that you bought a you spent
We saw that you bought Kobe
it
Bryant.
took you a
Oh
thousand
wait,
dollars to get Kobe
that's too
Bryant.
soon.
Next game,
It's too
nah.
soon.
Next game, nah. You ain't getting nothing. You're starting fresh from a clean slate. So
Yeah, you need to buy all these. You need to buy all these freaking people all over
right
again. Like screw you, man.
and right. So obviously the game is free. Warzone is free, which is a much better improvement compared to Black Ops 4, where
Hmm.
you get to pay for it, and even that BR was
Oh yeah,
meh.
yeah. That BR was whatever. And like the nice thing about that game was that you can just buy the blackout mode if you really wanted
Right.
to.
I'm not sure
But even then, still like I didn't really like it. Like I've downloaded Black Ops 4 again. I've gone back to Blackout, and
it's aged.
yeah, it doesn't hold
It's
up.
aged.
It doesn't hold up like at all. Like it runs well. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it was poorly optimized or anything. Like the game runs well. The game looks
You know what was
okay.
the only thing I liked about Black Ops 4
But
BR
like
Blackout? The zip
what's
line
that?
tool.
Oh yeah, the
That
grappling
the
hook.
grappling hook. That's
Yeah.
it. When it comes to like
Oh yeah, because the grappling hook was a utility tool that was
right,
useful.
and you
Now, like, imagine if Modern Warfare had like a R6 Siege sort of
oh
deal
right.
where you can walk up to the edge of a building and
Well, I
climb
mean,
up it. Like, that'd be
they added
cool too.
cables to tall buildings.
Well, yeah,
I
and
think
it
it's a
works,
lot more balanced
but
that way.
yeah, that's true because there was only one way up
A couple ways up, yeah, but
most of
people
the
can still
time.
camp it.
Most of the time, yeah.
So I think that 8 years might have been. It's just even with game developers and companies like yeah, the publishers, um, they really push for crunching. You know, getting 80-hour weeks
Hmm.
just to work on some code or work on on some parts of the games that
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
something that I'm happy about. But obviously, CD Projekt Red obviously relented on the all right since the game didn't get what was it? They were gonna give people bonuses if the game got above 90 in their ratings.
Oh yeah, on a Metacritic, yeah, on a
But
Metacritic score, and they got the bonuses revoked and all that, which
no,
is
no, no,
it's
no. They said they were gonna
crap,
give it to
man.
him
Because like,
anyways
why are you?
because obviously.
Oh, I didn't hear about
Well,
that.
let me double check on that, but I'm pretty sure they said something about because of the issue that came out with rushing the game out and the pressure of rushing the game out, they're like, all right, we see we
Right.
messed up, so we're gonna give out bonuses. I'm pretty sure. Um, but regardless, it kind of sucks that we were
Yeah.
promised all this stuff. There was 8 million pre-orders for the game, and uh,
That's a lot of fucking
well, here's the thing
pre-orders.
though. There's a lot more. There were more PS4s that were sold and Xbox Ones that were
Yeah.
sold than there are their upgraded versions. So PS4 Pro, Xbox One S and X. So
Which at the same, I get it. Like, if you don't have the money for it, I understand. But if you do have the money for it and you're just choosing to not upgrade, like, you're not doing yourself a service. Like, there was quality that came out of those two consoles, and having an Xbox One X when I did, I was happy that I did because of the graphic fidelity upgrade compared to the One S and the S, or the One S and the original one. Um, it definitely made a difference,
mhm.
to say the least.
I'm reading right now
But that's my take
CD
on it.
Projekt Red's statement on giving out bonuses, and they see we initially had a bonus
Hmm.
system that was focused on the game's rating and release date, but after consideration, we believe that measures is simply not fair on just the circumstances. Wrote Adam Badowski, studio head and creative director for
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077. The bonus system used for developers working okay is complicated, so it looks like they're not gonna be like super strict on it.
Well, you have to remember this too. Like Metacritic works in a different way. Like you have the user score and then you have the critic score and then you have three different platforms that you have to
Right,
check.
right,
So like you could have like a 10 out of 10 from both the user and critic scores on Xbox and then have like a 1.2 out of 10 on, the PlayStation like critics and uh user score.
right.
So really like how do you measure that out?
Well, my rule that I like to that I've adopted really is it started off with The Last of Us 2 mainly, where you take the Metac
Mhm.
score and then you take the user
Mhm.
score and add them up, divided by 2. Usually, usually the game falls within that range. The Last of Us 2,
Right.
great sound effects, great voice acting, great graphics. Story was whatever, but it's not a game that's a 10 out of 10 that a lot of people say, or neither is it a 0 or a 2 that a lot of people like.
Yeah, not like how the Game Awards
Or the game,
said.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
It's overhyped, but I just take both scores, I put them together, and I half it, and you get the average, and that's
Right.
basically a safe assumption what a game would be. Um,
I'm not sure I said it in the last episode, but Game Awards. The reason why the games that we voted for didn't really matter was because 90% of the voting came from the actual journalists than it did from
right.
then the 10% was
Well,
from the
Ghost
fans.
of Tsushima won the Player's Choice, which is honestly
That's the only time like players actually had a
right,
freaking moment to say something,
right.
you know what I
But I
mean? Like,
mean, so is if I were to grab another movie or TV show award system, it's probably around the same thing too.
right. Yeah,
So I'm not
exactly.
too mad about it because of the standards of which I view things when it comes to awards, because it's just people giving each other a pat on the back. Um,
Yeah, exactly. But like, come on. I'm still a little upset about uh, Doom Eternal not winning best OST or action. Like,
yeah, I wasn't surprised that OST went to Final Fantasy, because if you look at what was it, I think IGN, the only game that gave a 10 out of 10 or the top score was Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the 3DS, because obviously the
right.
nostalgia glasses were on, because it was a
Mm-hmm.
good uh port to the 3DS, and it was an
Port.
upgraded version
Gotcha.
of it too. But obviously there were I took it with a grain of salt. Obviously, I enjoy the game. I enjoy Ocarina of Time, but I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. But I can see why it got a 10 out of 10 because of the people who were voting for it. Um, but what you
Right.
said was true. Where people give each other awards because why not? But you can look at Final Fantasy VII, a game that a lot of these game journalists and people who are in these gaming companies grew up with. A game where
Right.
I'm not so tied to it because the game was a little bit older when I got around a chance to play it. So people who played it then,
So you don't have the same emotional connection to
right,
it that some other
right.
people
So
have.
I wasn't too shocked that Final Fantasy VII played the soundtrack at least got won that award.
Right.
But the Doom Eternal one, just it you just listen to it, it pumps you up, much like how you and I share that thing where we listen to any of the Nazi zombie songs, where you activate
Yep.
the Easter egg songs and it just gets you pumped, right? We listen to 115, we listen to the one under Reese. These things just get you pumped up because
Yeah.
obviously there's nostalgia factor, but
And my favorite song from Zombies, and this is gonna be weird because you're not gonna expect it. It's a song called "Carry On,"
uh
and it's not by Avenged Sevenfold, and it's not by what's her name,
uh
Alana
yeah,
Sigmund. It's by Kevin
he
Sherwood.
makes good music, dude.
Like, well, I
He
mean, like, so the song has a lot of cameos, like name cameos from a lot of the other songs. So like, the name is "Carry On," but it's not spelled the same way that Avenged Sevenfold spelled "carry on" when they made their version or like their song for zombies, and then like you have 115 and the one, like they're all compiled into this one song, but it's like just
Mm.
references. It's not like actual notes or pieces from those songs. Like it's just the actual like name references, and I think it's neat. Like that's what I like. And he also references the song 115.
That's such a good song, dude. 115 is just a.
I
That's what I'm saying.
know
I can listen to that song at the gym.
115 and
I listen to
like
that gym and I'll be pumped. I'm pumped and I'll hit it. Same thing with Doom
yeah,
Eternal. You listen to that music, it makes you wanna commit a felony to a pedophile or something. I don't know.
to a pedophile.
Joking. We don't condone violence here, but this is just an hyperbole. It's just that song. The song is great. I can see why some people might not like it
Yeah.
because it's not their taste, and I'm not
Yep.
mad at that. Um,
But action, dude, action,
yeah, action
action. Like
movie.
you literally
If it were a
like
movie,
no
it had
well,
everything to be an amazing action movie.
yeah.
But it's a game. You have control of the
Yep.
Doomslayer, so
So it makes it even more immersive.
it's just like I don't see The Last of Us as an action game though. I
It's
see it more
not.
as
It's a story-driven
what do you
game.
call this?
It's a story-driven
Not
game.
story driven, but yes, but I see it more as a RPG if anything.
Oh yeah, you're role playing as a character, so that would make
But
sense.
it's got more elements of that, and honestly,
Mm-hmm.
just it looks great. But Doom Eternal was just action, violent. It had a lot more action, story based action, and weapons
Yeah.
in this game than in 2016 Doom because you have more
Yeah,
weapons.
2016 was pretty
It
flat,
was
but
great.
the actual action of it. Well, what I'm saying is like story wise, it was
Oh,
flat.
right.
It wasn't like this overarching, in your face
Well,
sort
wait.
of story, but
I
like
mean,
Doom
it
Eternal was
wasn't
more
that flat.
story driven.
Like, hey, go get the BFG. How am I gonna get the BFG? You just go into this facility and you just destroy
Get the
all
BFG.
security systems and you get the BFG. Now in Doom Eternal, how do you get the BFG? Simple. You launch the BFG 10,000 and you hit Mars and you override the safety system. You blow a crater into Mars, then you take the BFG, and that obviously it's a lot more epic. It's a lot more like grandiose, and you're like, oh damn,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's much more of a higher arching storyline to Doom Eternal than there was to Doom. Like, it's more story driven action than it was in Doom 2016, where your protagonist may be quiet, but the only thing he does is when you activate him. So, like,
right,
you know what I mean? Like, you walk up to a button, you press a button. The only time that he does his own thing is during cutscenes. So, like, at the beginning when Dr. Hayden starts talking on the little intercom, he punches the
right.
intercom. So like at least with Doom Eternal, like you see there's humans in the game and you see the way they
Yeah,
react and Doom guy just walks up to him, snatches a gun, grabs a key card, flips on the key
dog.
card.
I
Like
get
there's
it though, cause if
more.
you, it's the same thing with Master Chief. Obviously, Spartans have their own reputations, but the Chief, he's like, hey, isn't that one dude that blew up a whole what was it?
Covenant Armada.
One ship,
Oh, it was a yeah, it was a
a Corvette.
Corvette.
That's what it was. He blew up a Corvette because why not? And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's what Chief does, right?" I mean, you see Doom
Yep.
you see the Doomslayer. He does what humanity can't do on its own, single-handedly,
Yep.
mind you. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some guys are like, "Oh, it's it's him. It's she." So I like. Oh, speaking about Doom, my brother started playing it on I
Yeah.
forgot what difficulty, and he was having a hard time with it. He wasn't playing on the hardest.
Dude, I had to turn it down to the easiest difficulty to beat the game. Like, I'm
Wow,
not bad at first person
wow,
shooters, but that game's freaking
wow. You
hard.
know how I learned? I just kept
Oh,
dying until I realized, oh
oh,
wait, I'm not supposed to be standing still. I'm supposed to keep running,
that's
use
the
my shotgun,
thing.
and
Like,
kill all the long
so
range people.
that I didn't have a shotgun. I didn't
Use
have a
or use a
shotgun.
pistol. The pistol works just fine when you start off the game too.
The only shotgun I had was a
The
combat
combat shotgun's
shotgun.
fine.
I
Obviously,
didn't have the
you
super
get rid of it once
shotgun.
you get the super shotty, but you gotta keep
Oh
moving.
yeah.
You gotta deal with the annoying enemies first.
Yes, dude. Well, look, listen. I beat Doom 2016 on Nightmare.
Such a fun game.
Okay, so I'm not like uh, I'm not new to the franchise,
Right.
and I'm not new to the difficulty. Like I beat games on the hardest difficulty first playthrough, no problem. Only takes me a few hours, but Doom Eternal was just so hard. Like there was this one sequence, trying to remember. I know it's you're at the fortress and you're trying. It's right before you get the super shoddy. So like there's this big open area. You have like the cacao demons spawn in. You have the
Mhm.
macubus spawn in. You have the spiders spawn in. You have like the snake looking guys
Yeah.
spawn in. You have the knight spawn in. And I made it past the first spider. Then a second one spawned in, and that's when I died.
Mhm.
So it's like every single time that I'd try and get through that, I would die. So I tried lowering the difficulty. My health was still dropping way too much. Like, had I not turned it down to the easiest difficulty, I would have never made it through that encounter.
I get what you're saying. I'm honestly wondering if what was a harder experience playing Doom 2016 at the beginning or God of War 4 at the beginning. Both games on their hardest difficulties. Because in God of War 4, it was the tutorial was just like,
Probably that game because Doom 2016, like, you learn the mechanics and it only takes you a couple deaths to understand
I
what the
think
hell is going
you
on.
misspoke. I think you meant like 100 deaths, and then you're like, oh, I get it. I get it. I mean, even with the Dark Souls series and Bloodborne and Sekiro, like th- at its most basic description of the gameplay, it's dodge,
Mhm.
attack, and don't be
Dodge,
greedy
attack, dodge.
on your attacks, on your dodging. Just
Yep.
just wait. Just be patient. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but
Yep.
once you fully grasp it,
Or cheese the boss if you
right?
can.
If you can find a way to do so, but like once you grasp that lesson, you're like, hey, maybe the game is not that bad, because
Yeah,
but the same thing with
exactly.
Doom, but with God of War 4, dude, the tutorial, just the regular minions to show you what the
Mm.
tutorial was all about, it was just like, goodness gracious, my cousin, he couldn't get past it, so he dropped it. He dropped the difficulty to one step below it, and I can see why. The game is unforgiving in the beginning. You have enemies basically two shot you. You don't heal. It's just not fun. But I got through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so
What's up, bro?
let's talk food real
Food? You're
quick.
hungry right now, dude?
No, no. Did you not see the Mr. Beast burger delivery
Oh, really? There's a Mr.
on
All right, you sent us
yeah.
something. What the heck is that?
Yeah, yeah. So Mr. Beast did a collaboration with like Grubhub, Postmates, what's all these other delivery
Uber
services?
Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah. There's like 200 or 300 locations that he was able to get, and Miami's actually in one of them, and so is Orlando.
Mm.
So like if you're in those locations, but like Miami, it's like 147th and like
Mhm.
5th. So like we're talking, I think wouldn't that be that'd be closer to like downtown Miami. Anyways, um, it's like I've seen pictures of the Mr. Beast burger and like the food that they have. I don't know. I feel like it's almost like another overhyped thing, but a lot of people seem pretty excited about it. Mr. Beast for some reason has a lot of money. I don't know how he
Yeah,
did it,
he's
but he
not
has
gonna
a lot
reveal
of
that
money.
secret. I'm sure. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
either.
probably
I
drugs.
wouldn't either.
Probably drugs
No, I doubt it. I doubt it. Because he gets a lot of sponsors, and I mean, to be able to afford
and drugs.
like what was it, thousands of dollars of
Giveaways, dude.
giveaways that are
Giveaways.
confirmed
Like,
that they keep it, as well as lottery tickets where they make only a third of their money back, sometimes even half of their money back.
yeah.
Um, and this is all like their money is legal too. So, He's
Hmm.
obviously not gonna reveal that secret. It may be not for a long time unless someone figures it out as well. But even they're not gonna do it as well.
Well, he's also working with like this guy named Bill Pollute, which is I think some sort of politician or something like that, or an owner
I'm
of a
not sure.
company. Anyways, that guy also does a lot of giveaways as well. So I don't know like what they're hand in hand. Like they work together.
I mean, he's
So
using it for something good, so he's making
yeah,
entertainment.
yeah. Um,
So I'm not that mad about it.
but Bill Pollute actually he donates to like charities and stuff too. So
Well, hmm, I got my own thing about charities, but I mean that's fine. That's pretty cool. So
yeah.
the Mr. Beast burger, it looks like I don't know. Yeah, if it's here, if it's in Miami or in big condensed cities, I wonder how they're gonna do it with COVID restrictions.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a topographical map of like where all the Mr. Beast
Yeah, I'm
burgers
looking
are
at
at.
it, and what I'm wondering is like some of these places closed down restaurants for um due to the pandemic and all that stuff. So if that were
Yeah.
mhm,
So wow, there's actually a lot of places. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 places in Florida,
mhm.
and they're all big locations. So like Orlando has
Oh wow.
two. Oh, that's weird. They didn't put the one for Miami. Um, Orlando has two. Tampa has one. Naples has two. Davie has one.
Davy has
Oh, that's
what?
probably where it's Davie, Florida has
Oh, I heard
one on
four. I'm like, no
University
way.
Drive. No, and then Kissimmee, Florida.
Davy of all places, dude. I mean,
I know. Well, I guess that's the one that's considered Miami, quote unquote. But
it's Fort
if you
Lauderdale.
live in any of these states, we have Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, California, Washington, Hawaii, Texas, and
I'm looking at their
Delaware.
menu right now, and they have five different types of meal options, like sandwiches and burgers
Right.
and some sides. But
Sounds like
mhm,
a kind of like an in and out. Wow, the biggest list I've seen so far is Ohio and Massachusetts. Oh wow, California is
mhm,
huge. Okay, California
I
is
see
probably
it.
the
Yeah,
longest
I
one.
see it. That's a lot.
Wow, you have
Yeah,
Claremont,
sure.
Mesa, Bray, Pasadena. I've been to
Well, I mean,
Pasadena.
the upper east side of the United States has a
Yeah,
bunch, dude. Holy crap! But
Sacramento. I've
let me
been to
read off their
Sac,
menu though. You have the B style, the
LA.
smashed crispy beef patties with seasoning, sharp American cheese, pickles diced with white onions, mayo, ketchup, and brown mustard on a soft roll. There's the Chris style, which is a smashed crispy beef patty with house seasoning, sharp American cheese, bacon topped with crinkle fries. Ooh, that sounds good. Smashed the Chandler style, which is the smashed crispy beef patties with a house seasoning, plain with American cheese on a bun. So basically, just a cheeseburger. The Carl's grilled cheese, which is 3 slices of American cheese, griddled crisp on an inverted bun. That's the way I do it. I always
Ooh, that
use
sounds
2 to 3
good.
slices of cheese. I see people put 1 slice of cheese, and I think that's heresy. Get out of here. Then they have the Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Nashville hot style chicken tenders with mayo, ketchup, and shredded lettuce and pickles. They have fries, loaded with caramelized onions, American cheese, pickles, mayos, ketchup, and mustard. All that on fries, dude. Holy crap. Dang, dude.
Yeah, so it sounds like their menu is pretty uh
Basic.
versatile
It's kind
there.
of basic to me. It's just simple burgers, some chicken
Well,
sandwiches, a grilled cheese if you'd like, and then some fries.
but then you have like you have like In and Out Burger, which only has like 4 items on the menu.
Oh, that's true. I've never been to an In-N-Out, but I will say,
They're pretty good. The only way to order it is with onions on it. If you order it without onions, the burger
oh
sucks.
really? Well,
Yeah.
I will say I love Whataburger, dude.
Well, I know
I
you
love
love
it, dude.
Whataburger. You want me to go up to Jacksonville with you to go get
I'll do it.
Whataburger?
I'll freaking do it. Well, actually, I did it. Like I forgot when I went. I went like 2
So
months ago, dude.
did you see the Air? Did you see the AirPods Max?
Wait, they have a new one, a third edition?
They're 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 over the ear
Wait, hold
headphones.
up. AirPod Max. Everyone was talking mad crap about headphones.
Dude, it's
Oh, they're
$550.
headphones. Oh.
They have noise cancellation, but they don't turn off. Like they don't have a like a button to turn them off.
What?
They only go into a low power state mode. Yeah, they'll never turn off.
I mean, people will buy it just because it's Apple. I mean, people are buying Apple products just because it's Apple products, even though they're
Exactly, because there's a
inferior.
logo on it.
Um, they're and basically anything that Samsung does, at least the Galaxy line, they will copy it basically. And everyone's like,
Mm-hmm.
"You have a Galaxy?" Like I think just recently, they had a record option, a screen record option that wasn't so. What was it? That you didn't have to swipe out a screen just to record with and to stop recording, but with Samsung phones you can just record screen and it's seamless and you're able to stop the video, you're even able to pause it. So I don't know, I have my gripes with Apple products. A bunch of people who repair PC parts and PC products, they
Mm-hmm.
obviously
Right.
don't like Apple products because of how very restrictive and how like just what's the word how predatory they are with their blueprints, with their everything, and they send a lot of cease and desist letters like, hey, you can't be fixing our stuff because we won't let you. You can't open up our new product just to draw a schematic and then give out this information to everyone so they can use it to fix their stuff. It's just, I don't know. People will buy it just because it's Apple. Obviously the stigma of if you have an
Yeah.
Apple product and you text with the people, you're seen as better because like what was it when you're using iMessage, you talk to someone else with an Apple product,
Yeah,
it's
it's
blue. So when
blue.
it's green, they overreact. I don't know. Call me uh, a peasant if you will, because I'm not gonna get an Apple product. I just can't.
No,
I know
exactly.
you at one point you enjoyed it,
Yeah, I still enjoy my you know, my Apple phone. I have an iPhone. I have iPhone. I have Beats, which are now integrated with
right?
Apple. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. To me, it's a phone. It works, and it might be a closed net ecosystem, but it has constant
Hmm.
updates, and the security measures are pretty
I
nifty.
will say though,
So,
yeah, I've given advice with regarding to devices when it either comes to home, personal, or just overall
hmm
to people who aren't technologically literate or advanced on certain things. I always tell them, especially those who
hmm
are past their 50s and they just want to get a phone for the family, a phone plan for the family and all that stuff, and they have some change, to work with. And I go, listen, if you're not willing to put the effort into learning how this machine works, just get Apple products because one account connects everything. It's seamless. It's great. And that's one thing I can say Apple does rather well. So if anyone's listening to this podcast and you can afford that extra, that extra little bit of change, which is not really just change, it's a good amount of money to upgrade your what was it, Apple Home, Apple devices on your iPad, your Apple tablets, your Apple phones. One account connects everything seamlessly, and it's great. If
oh yeah, and now I mean they're a little more friendly about this, but now if you have Apple Music, you can invite family
yeah,
members,
yeah,
and you can have up to 5 family members if you have the
which I
family
think that's
plan
cool. I think that's cool. Honestly, if I were in uh that group
ecosystem.
where I didn't know much about technology and I was older in years, I wouldn't mind getting Apple if I can afford
hmm
it, as well for the family.
Oh yeah,
It
I mean,
works.
but then you can just finance. I
Right.
mean, if you're not on Metro, you can just finance. Or I'm not sure about any other,
T-Mobile does
you
financing.
know, well, there's also U.S. Cellular. I
I'm
don't
not
know if
sure,
they do financing.
but
Yeah, exactly, because we don't have one
oh, I'm not
near
sure. Yeah,
us.
I think you're right on that. But if you have at least two brain cells that know how to work with electronics and can rationally look at things, at least with Apple products, you would see that Apple products aren't really the best out there. Regardless of what phone you get, they're made with. And I'll try to be a little PC here about it, but they used forced labor in an Eastern Oriental country, where yeah, it's basically that they pay their employees super cheap just so you can get your iPhones and stuff. So it's the
Hmm.
same thing anyways.
But yeah, but that goes for any
Any
phone
phone
almost.
basically. I
Yeah.
think yeah, yeah, because you want to make it cheap and you want to make the most profit. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, the UI, I've worked with Apple UI. Obviously, I haven't used it on the phone on a day-to-day basis, but have worked with it before, and well, it's just not my thing. It's something that uh, I'm not sure if you remember when the iPods came out, the iPod Touch, and people jailbreak their phone so they could become
Oh yeah.
their,
Or their iPod to jailbreak it as a
or not
phone.
even
Yeah.
that. They jailbreak Apple products so they can become Samsung products. Basically, they can become Android products because,
Pretty
and I just
much.
found that so ironic. But
But there's also a lot of features that came out of it that, um later on Apple implemented, like widgets on the
mhm.
screen and stuff like that. But like you said, Android already had that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's consumerism at its finest. You choose whatever product you're happiest with. If you feel like you're socially pressured to get one thing or another, go ahead. It's not gonna
Hmm.
bother me. It's not my money. But at the end, it's still your money. It's you can do what you want. If you want to buy CD Project Red, even though it's all buggy, just because you want to enjoy it, that's fine. You can enjoy it. Um, or FIFA games too. But yeah, regardless of what you want to buy, it's up to you. But is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Everybody in comments, if you're listening to this to Spotify, feel feel the feels. Halo servers on 360 will be shutting down in
Let me
2021.
play
December
some Halo 3
2021.
OST. That's Deference for Darkness. You know, the one with the saxophone. That
Oh
song
man,
is.
it's my favorite one. Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean,
But yeah, so online servers are going to be shutting down. You'll still be able to play like LAN and like couch co-op
mhm.
and campaign by yourself, but you won't be able to play those online.
uh, well, this is just for Xbox 360 though.
Yeah, so just as like clarification, it's for Xbox 360 servers. Like if you have Master Chief Collection, don't worry about it. Um it won't affect Master
Well, I
Chief
mean,
Collection.
I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation also goes for, or Sony does something similar with the PS3. Even though the Xbox 360 people sometimes play to go back and do their things, but that's two generations ago from the current gen right now. You know.
But you also got to think about like these games were backwards compatible. So like maybe somebody only had the version of the backwards compatible.
Right.
So like Halo 3 was an Xbox One X enhanced title where you could play it in 4K on the 360, or like Gears 2 is a 4K on the Xbox,
Hmm.
like it got the res
Well, I
bump
mean,
on the Xbox
if
One
if
X.
you put in the 360 disc on the
Mhm.
one or even the series, uh,
Yeah.
you you're still logging on to the 360 servers to play that game,
Yep.
which I get why they're closing it down, but it won't feel the same playing on the Master Chief Collection or the MCC, how everyone calls it,
It never will.
because
It
it
never
doesn't
will.
feel because of the physics engine. Basically, that's what it is. The items and weapons are still there, but it's not the same physics, it's not the same bugs and glitches that people use to have fun. Um,
Oh no, it is. It's just like those are still the same. They didn't touch those. They pretty much just ported it into this one massive game. It for me, it's mostly the UI and like where you met your
Right.
friends. You
I
know what I
get it.
mean?
Well, I mean that's
So
360, so that would mean what? Yeah, so everything from Halo 1 until up till Reach online servers.
yeah, so Halo Combat. So it was Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo Reach, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Spartan Assault, Halo Wars, um, and Halo Reach. If I hadn't already said that.
Yeah, you did. But this is just for 360, so
Yeah, it was like 6 games, I think, total. I can tell you right now if I
yeah,
look
it
it up.
sucks, but I mean, we do have an alternative which is MCC, which is on PC and it's also on
Yeah, here's the list. So we have Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Spartan Assault, Halo Wars, Halo Reach, and Halo 4.
Halo what? The last one? Oh,
Halo
Halo 4.
4.
Oh, right, Halo 4. Well, I mean, if you want to play Halo 4, you can still play it on the Xbox One, because that's on the Xbox One servers. But obviously, the original servers won't. For all those other games, it's on the 360.
Halo 4 was never on the one. That was a
You
360
sure?
only.
Pretty sure there was an
Mm-hmm.
Xbox One
The
release.
only way that you can play it is on the Master Chief
Oh,
Collection.
okay, I think you're right on that. I might be confusing you for 5 then.
Yeah, 5. 5 is the only one that they're not shutting down because that one's on the
Well, that
Xbox One.
I mean, that's just the passing of time. It happens to a lot of games. Online servers won't be up for a while. I mean, it happened to the Wii. It happens to a whole bunch of games that had back, just online capability. They had to shut it down because it's no longer profitable, or people aren't really playing it. So,
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they say, "Hey, we're gonna shut down Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3's servers on the PS3 and
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360 because it's not being played. The game's the franchise is this many years old, and yeah, I'm sure this is just one of the big steps. I'm sure other bigger games are gonna stop using the 360 for online capabilities. They're gonna stop supporting it, but you know, it's just a passing of time. It comes with it. But
Yeah, I know, but it makes a lot of people sad because 360, believe it or not, is probably one of the biggest
oh yeah,
generations.
it's one of those consoles
Period.
that
It was bigger than the
redefined
PS4.
uh
Yeah,
online gaming.
social gaming.
All those
Yep.
memes that you see about game chat and party chat, it's basically Xbox 360. And then obviously you have your PS4 chats and your Xbox One chats.
Well, you also had Halo 2 chat on the original
Dude,
Xbox.
Halo chat, but there was also Modern Warfare game chat. Holy crap, dude!
Oh man.
That grew some
I
hair on your
love those
chest. That
videos,
grew some
dude.
hair on your chest. People were violent.
I know. If kids today were able to play when we were growing
Jesus
up,
Christ! Look,
they wouldn't last
look
a
at us sounding
minute.
like boomers.
Oh, we are
But
boomers.
just yeah, that was hilarious, dude. Just those lobbies were cancerous. Uh,
They were. They were.
the uh, but yeah, it's you're right. I would agree with you on that because the 360 obviously won the console war in that generation. Especially with how the UI was made, like how the UI everyone was
Hmm.
working with it, how comfortable it was for everyone, how easy it was to start a chat, how easy it is to navigate everything else. But the 360 was just big, and I think we can give credit to at least Halo just for that, because Halo 2,
Yeah.
everyone was going crazy for it, and then Halo 3 just stomped everything,
Yep.
everything.
Pretty
So
much.
I'm pretty sure the one game series that really helped solidify the the superior game console is now going offline, and you can only play on if you have it downloaded already your
You
Xbox. That's the only way you can play it,
hmm
which sucks.
You can only create every Tim.
Well, at least we have the MCC. It's something, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Like it has support. Oh, well, we also have Fortnite too, so we can't forget about that game
I will say though, I
with
wanted
their
to say it last
freaking
week,
with
but
their
I'm pretty
skins.
sure having those character skins in Fortnite for both Kratos and Master Chief, it helps introduce the audience to Halo overall. Because I'm sure there's kids out there who don't know squat about Halo. My, uh, I think it
Yeah,
was my cousin. Like I could be wrong, but he didn't know anything about Halo until I told him about it, and he was already a preteen. So I mean, it's some, and he plays Fortnite sometimes. He mostly is on Roblox, but this is a good opportunity to help whiten your reach. You could have kids, much like how you and I played Halo when we were kids. Now kids will see that.
yeah,
Hey,
but it was rated M. Like, here's the thing: it's rated T for teen. They pretty much like removed a lot of the blood
oh yeah,
from the game just so that they can get that T rating.
yeah. It helps with it really helps out with ratings. I mean not ratings, sales, because they see a T game, they see
Yeah, but at
it.
the same,
So
but it just ruins the feel of like classic Halo, and that's the thing. Classic Halo. That's something that kind of like how Call of Duty needed. I feel Halo needed, and hopefully with this next one, it goes back to
I
that.
think my first rated M game was Turok Evolution from the GameCube, and
Oh, mine was Grand Theft Auto
I
3.
think no, but I my first one that I ever played was Grand Theft Auto, but the one that I've ever owned was Turok Evolution on the GameCube, and
Oh,
that game was bloody,
mm-hmm.
but it was like it, I get why just studios want just publishers and developing studios want a T rating and not an M rating. It's the same reason they don't like putting out an adult only rating because it affects
Right,
your sales. It really does. That's
right.
why they stopped having that rating. Unless, you know, I think the last game I can remember that has an A rating was this PC game that came out called Hatred because of all the.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Well, I'm thinking about in recent history in my memory.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember Hatred. You were telling me about
Yeah,
Hatred.
Hatred had a rated A rating because of, well, how graphic it was. So
Mm-hmm.
I can understand why that one has it. There's a rated A rating and then rated M rating. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had that rating too, where um you had two versions of the game where you have the rated A rating. You get to see, I believe, CJ and whatever female companion you're performing coitus with. There was
Yep.
a scene, a cut scene for that, but that was really it. And you get to see polygons and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay. But that was the rated A rating. But uh, I'm not too mad why they would want to push for that rating, but I'm not sure if you
Mm-hmm.
remember DC versus Mortal Kombat, where they had a rated T rating, and the fatalities weren't as brutal. They didn't have any blood. If you get shot in the face, like if the Joker shot you in the face, the camera would pan away from the person getting shot into Joker's face. People didn't like that game because, well, it was a Mortal Kombat game. You'd expect it to be brutal, full of blood and gore, but it wasn't the case in this one.
Right.
All they had was some blood.
Yeah, and I think that's the rating that they're probably going to push for on Halo Infinite as well as
What
T
does Destiny have?
T rating.
Well,
But Destiny is a whole different horse.
right,
Like that's not even Halo
right,
anymore. Like that's a different love story with Bungie.
true. But regardless, we know that the rated T sells more. I mean, if we were to go with actual ratings and how ratings are supposed to actually work, uh,
Mm-hmm.
FIFA, 2K games, Madden, they're supposed to be rated A because they have gambling with these loot boxes, which I consider
Yeah.
loot boxes. But guess what? The game is doesn't consider those as gambling, because of whatever they feel like putting a rating on it, and they put the rating E because it sells. I would, if anything, I would give it T because of that mechanic, but it's rated E
Right.
because they need to make money off of it. But yeah, it's a bittersweet type of message to receive. Servers are going offline,
Yeah, I know.
but at least you made great memories off of it, and you can hold that in your heart because, well, the game was fantastic, and honestly, not a lot of people play on the original servers anymore. So I,
Unfortunately,
because
yeah.
new games come out, newer games, remasters of the games come out as well. So at least we can enjoy the increase in graphic fidelity. But I can appreciate Bungie and how they shaped a generation of gamers with their phenomenal game.
Yeah, they really did.
But is
Yep. So did Call
right,
of
so the
Duty.
Call of Duty, especially Call of Duty, how toxic it was, but that was so dumb, dude.
We laugh, but we cry inside.
No, our hearts were made of stone when we entered those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies,
If not, we would cry.
and then we cried in solace because we can't feel a thing anymore.
Oh man.
But uh
So do you have anything else to interject?
uh no, not too much. I'm just looking forward to next year to see what gaming has to come up with. Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the year of 2020, of how hectic of a year it was. It still is, but um, CD Projekt Red is on vacation right now, so going to see
Yeah.
patches soon in January, February, probably February. It's something to look forward to because it's a game I want to see succeed.
Well, there's one coming out in January, and then there's one coming out in
Right.
February.
But it's a
So,
game I want to see succeed because obviously I know they can do it. The Witcher 3 had a
of course.
buggy launch, but they fixed it. It took them time, but they fixed it, and it became one of the most
Yep.
critically acclaimed games out there that everyone enjoys, especially when the show came out. It got even more popular.
Even more
Right.
so. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to next year of gaming, what it has to bring. Hopefully, hopefully.
That's going to be the big year for Microsoft for
Oh,
sure.
right, how they bought a whole bunch of these new products. But this is something we could talk about next episode.
Hmm.
But that's something to look
Yeah.
forward to. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, that's it.
Well, guys, this was DKM episode 7. Please put your thoughts out there for our host Daniel, who again contracted Ligma. We just recently received news that it might have adapted to Sugma. I'm not sure what Sugma is, but yes, please. We'd enjoy all the support and appreciation. Please share us on whatever platform you're listening to it on. We really appreciate the help. But thank you very much, and peace.
Later.